Storytelling is powerful. In fact, studies show that people remember stories 22 times more than they remember facts alone. Think about that for a second. A great story sticks with us far longer than a piece of information, no matter how interesting it might be. But here's the kicker: most people don't realize that almost half of a good story depends on one thing, the plot twist. In this video, we're going to unlock the secrets of what makes a plot twist unforgettable. From how to plant clues without giving it away, to perfecting the timing of that jaw-dropping moment, we'll cover it all. Did you know that a well-timed twist can boost your audience's emotional engagement by over 70%? We're not just talking about surprise, we're talking about impact. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with strategies to make your audience sit up, pay attention, and never forget your story. Get ready to dive deep into the art of the plot twist, because mastering it can turn your stories from good to great. Stick with me, and you'll see how even the most unexpected twists can be the most satisfying. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Plot Twists, the secret ingredient for unforgettable stories. Plot twists are the secret sauce that turns a good story into an unforgettable one. They take your audience on a ride they never saw coming. Think about the movie The Sixth Sense. When Bruce Willis realizes he's been dead the whole time, it turns everything on its head. That moment redefines the entire film, leaving us shocked and satisfied. Studies show that plot twists increase emotional engagement. A well-executed twist can keep your audience talking long after they've seen or read your story. The magic of plot twists is that they challenge our expectations. According to a study from Psychology Today, humans love surprises because they trigger a dopamine release, making us feel good. But it's not just about shocking your audience, it's about giving them an aha moment. The twist should make everything that came before it click into place. It's not about randomness, it's about cleverly rerouting expectations. A good plot twist has to be earned. It can't come out of nowhere. As author and screenwriter Blake Snyder points out in his book Save the Cat, a twist works best when it changes everything we thought we knew. A twist should reframe everything that's happened, making us rethink the story in a fresh light. Strategically, to pull this off, you need to build suspense from the start. The more you invest the audience in the plot, the more satisfying the twist will be. Even when you're using a cliché or predictable setup, a twist can surprise if done right. The trick is to layer your story with subtle contradictions and layered conflicts that, when revealed, shatter expectations. A classic example of this can be found in Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. The twist at the end isn't just unexpected, it changes the whole theme of justice and retribution. Christie masterfully planted clues throughout the story without giving anything away. It's a prime example of how a twist, when properly seeded, enhances the entire narrative. If you enjoyed this chapter and want to dive deeper into storytelling, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Chapter 2: The Twist in the Tale, planting clues without giving it away. Now, let's talk about how to plant clues without ruining the twist. The key is subtlety. You want your audience to be able to look back after the twist and say, "Ah, I see it now," without feeling cheated. One way to do this is by foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a technique where you hint at what's to come, but in a way that doesn't give it away. In The Prestige, 2006, the director Christopher Nolan shows us how foreshadowing works. From the very beginning, we're introduced to the disappearing trick. But, as the story unfolds, we discover there's so much more to it. Nolan hides the true nature of the magician's trick, but if you look closely, it's right there in the details. When done correctly, foreshadowing makes the twist feel both surprising and inevitable. One mistake writers often make is revealing too much too soon. It's tempting to drop hints early, but doing so too blatantly ruins the surprise. Instead, scatter little details that seem insignificant at the time. In The Usual Suspects, for example, Kevin Spacey's character Verbal Kint mentions various details about a mysterious figure, Kaiser Soze. The real twist isn't just that Verbal is Soze, but how the clue subtly pointed to him. The details aren't obvious, but once the twist is revealed, everything falls into place. You should also consider misdirection, a classic magician's technique. Misdirection involves focusing the audience's attention on one thing while something else is happening in the background. In storytelling, this could be focusing on a secondary character or subplot that takes attention away from the real twist. Think of how Gone Girl leads us to suspect one person, only for the twist to reveal a completely different truth. This allows the twist to hit with maximum impact. One excellent strategy to perfect this is to build expectations, then break them at the right moment. According to John Truby, in The Anatomy of Story, the key is to create a false story thread that leads readers in the wrong direction. By the time they realize the true story thread, it's too late to backtrack, and the twist is a genuine surprise. Don't forget to subscribe if you're finding these tips helpful. You won't want to miss the rest of the journey. Chapter 3: Characters in Disguise. How to create the perfect red herring. Red herrings are an essential tool for crafting twists. A red herring is a character or plot point designed to mislead your audience. The key to a successful red herring is that it has to seem like an important clue, but later reveal itself to be nothing more than a distraction. Think of Sherlock Holmes stories. Often, Holmes and Watson follow leads that seem promising but ultimately turn out to be irrelevant. These false trails keep the audience guessing and add complexity to the story. A perfect red herring will always feel like a legitimate part of the plot, so when it's exposed as a false lead, it delivers maximum impact. But how do you create a red herring that doesn't feel forced? The trick is in the character's motivation. Give your red herring a backstory or reason to act in ways that confuse the audience. For instance, a seemingly innocent character can be portrayed as suspicious through their behavior or relationships, leading the audience to believe they're guilty of something. The twist is revealed when the true culprit or motive is unveiled, and the red herring serves to distract from the truth. In The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Stieg Larsson introduces a number of characters who could be the villain. Each of them has traits that make them suspicious. However, the final twist doesn't just reveal the true villain, it also reveals the deeper psychological reasons behind the motives of the characters. The red herrings don't just serve to confuse, they add layers to the story. The key to using red herrings successfully is balance. Too many and they lose their effectiveness, making the audience feel manipulated. Too few and the twist may feel like an afterthought. Ideally, red herrings should feel like natural parts of the plot. A well-crafted red herring can create tension and deepen character development while misleading the audience just enough to keep them on their toes. If you're finding these storytelling strategies helpful, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Chapter 4: Twist as Transformation. How to evolve your story with a game-changing turn. The best plot twists don't just surprise, they transform the story. A twist should feel like a seismic shift that alters everything, making the audience look at the story in a new light. In Fight Club, the revelation that Edward Norton's character is actually Tyler Durden all along changes the entire meaning of the film. Suddenly, everything that happened before that moment is seen in a different context. The twist becomes a catalyst for understanding the themes of identity, control, and mental health. When crafting your twist, think of it as the key to unlock the full potential of your story. The twist should reveal something essential about your character or the world they inhabit. It's not just about shocking the audience, it's about providing new insight. Robert McKee in Story, Substance, Structure, Style, and the Principles of Screenwriting says, a story is a journey, and the twist is the point where the journey takes on new meaning. The twist should be the turning point that gives the entire plot new weight. Strategically, to achieve this, your twist should relate to the themes you've been building throughout the story. For example, if your story is about trust, the twist should challenge the audience's understanding of who to trust. In The Sixth Sense, the twist doesn't just change the plot, it redefines the emotional and thematic heart of the film, forcing the audience to reconsider the entire narrative. Your twist doesn't always need to be a shocking revelation. It can be a small change in perspective. In The Others, the twist reveals that the family has been dead all along, but this revelation transforms the story's tone and meaning. It forces the audience to rethink the entire premise and experience grief in a different way. Remember, the twist shouldn't feel like a cheap plot device. If it feels like an afterthought or doesn't tie into the overall narrative, it can undermine the emotional impact. The best twists feel like the natural evolution of the story, not something tacked on for shock value. When done well, the twist doesn't just surprise, it deepens the emotional stakes of the entire story. Chapter 5, The Reveal. Timing is everything. When it comes to plot twists, timing is crucial. The twist needs to hit at the exact right moment, when the audience is least expecting it but still able to understand its significance. In The Empire Strikes Back, the reveal that Darth Vader is Luke's father is perfectly timed. The twist comes at the peak of Luke's personal journey, and the revelation changes the course of his entire future. If this moment had come too early or too late, it wouldn't have had the same emotional weight. According to Blake Snyder in Save the Cat, timing is what turns an ordinary scene into something magical. A twist should be the culmination of everything that's been building up until that point. If you give the twist too early, the audience isn't invested enough. If you wait too long, it may feel like a cheap trick. Finding that perfect moment is what makes a twist memorable. To master timing, you need to know when to slow things down and when to speed them up. A well-timed twist often requires a period of rising tension, followed by a sudden, sharp release. John Truby talks about this concept in The Anatomy of Story, describing it as the build and release method. It's a way of preparing the audience for something big, then delivering the twist just when they think they have it figured out. Think of Shutter Island, where the twist isn't just about discovering the truth, it's about the gradual process of realizing the truth. The reveal comes at a crucial emotional moment, and it changes everything. This careful build-up is what makes the twist so effective. If the reveal had happened too early, the mystery would have lost its intrigue. A great way to play with timing is to build up expectations with a slow burn. Let the audience invest emotionally in the characters and the story. Then, when the twist comes, it should feel earned. When the timing is right, your twist becomes more than just a shock. It becomes the emotional climax of the entire narrative. Chapter 6, Breaking the Rules. Creative twists that defy expectations. Some of the most memorable plot twists are the ones that break all the rules. They don't follow the conventional structure or adhere to audience expectations. A creative twist can subvert the usual storytelling techniques and surprise your audience in unexpected ways. In Memento, Christopher Nolan plays with time itself, telling the story in reverse order. The twist isn't just in the plot, it's in how the story is presented. This innovative structure challenges the audience's understanding of narrative itself. In Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn defies the typical twist by offering not one, but two shocking revelations. First, Amy isn't really missing, and then we discover how deep her manipulations run. This layered twist defies the usual expectations of what a twist should be, keeping the audience off balance and constantly questioning what will happen next. David Mamet in his book 3 Uses of the Knife discusses how breaking the rules can make a story stand out. He argues that by pushing boundaries, storytellers can redefine how twists are presented. This doesn't mean every story should break the rules, but sometimes a fresh approach can deliver a twist that is both unexpected and deeply impactful. The trick is to think outside the box. What if your twist isn't a secret revealed, but a character's choice that turns everything on its head? In The Matrix, Neo's choice to take the red pill isn't just about learning the truth, it's about embracing the unknown. The twist here is about agency and choice, flipping the traditional idea of a twist on its head. Not every twist needs to be a shocking reveal. Sometimes, breaking the rules means flipping the story on its head in a way that's still surprising, but in a more philosophical or emotional way. In The Cabin in the Woods, the twist is that the characters are part of a larger experiment, turning the horror genre itself into a commentary on audience expectations. It's a twist that not only surprises but challenges the very conventions of horror. Sometimes, breaking the rules means taking a risk. A creative twist can be the one that makes your story unforgettable. Just like the unexpected nature of life itself, the best twists are the ones that make us rethink everything we thought we knew. By playing with expectations and structure, you can create twists that feel fresh and new, leaving your audience questioning everything they've just seen. If you found these strategies useful, don't forget to subscribe to keep learning how to master storytelling and plot twists. Thanks for watching.